do an update just kind of talking about where I'm at with certain things and, you know, some of the difficulties, possible release time frame, things like that. We're going to be going over TicketTime, of course, and, you know, let me go ahead and find somebody to pull. We're actually just going to yank them over. First guy we can get to. And we'll kind of go from there.
Pull over now. You have been warned.
And we'll also talk about, like, some of the workarounds and some of the changes at this point in time, if I do release, that I'm going to need you guys to do. And a lot of the headache and issue actually comes from LCPDFR's hotkey setup and how they kind of force it. And I'll kind of explain what I'm talking about here in a second, and we'll just kind of go from there. Alright, so you can see we press Z and, you know, TicketTime activated, approach the driver window. So at this point we just kind of walk up to the window and, you know, it'll automatically kind of start things off for us. And from here, you know, you can select any range of options. Nothing much has changed within this block. It met its initial needs and kind of got through everything well. So we'll just, I actually might remove tail to stay put, because you really don't even need to click it. It doesn't really do anything, honestly. So now that we requested the documents, you can see we can view them by entering your vehicle and then pressing Z. Sorry, I'm still actually waking up. I just really want to update you guys with what I got going on. So, you know, if we press Z now, you know, it's just going to tell us enter your vehicle to view the documents. And the reason I'm doing that, the main reason I'm doing that is because if you're on foot and say you press Z and you got this form open, whenever you type T, whenever you type U, or whenever you type O or something of that nature, you're going to conflict with the LCPDFR hotkey, and it's going to make you pull out your taser, put on a hat, and start, you know, drinking coffee. I've contacted them. I'm waiting for them to get back to me still. It's been a little while. I know they're really busy, but I'm trying to find a way to either disable their hotkeys temporarily or to have a workaround. So right now, the workaround for me is to have the user required to enter the vehicle. That kind of eliminates the taser and some of the other annoyances. You'll still actually get coffee out, which is, you know, it tells me that they're doing some pretty hefty overrides for their hotkeys, because, you know, I got my form to ignore Grand Theft Auto input, you know, pretty easily, but the LCPDFR hotkeys, they'll stay on regardless, and it's very dangerous for me to try to get control of them. So now, with that said, you'll see that we kind of put a generic date in here, and yeah, that's today's date at the time of this recording. We're going to be going with this because, you know, eventually when this becomes old, you guys are going to be like, well, I don't know what day it is. Like, what date do I go off of? And I'm not going to grab your system time or anything like that. We're just going to use a static date up here. It shouldn't be a game changer or a game killer. And now you'll see that the form's got a new order to step out, so maybe you like check this guy out. So, you know, here we got Mr. McKay or Mrs. McKay. I didn't even look at him. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Okay, it's Mr. McKay. Well, see, if you pay attention to this, when I press Z, the camera locks like it should. My form comes back into play, and everything else is good to go. But another glaring issue that I'm trying to struggle with LCPDFR is when you press E and go into the computer system here to, you know, just to search the individual that you're interested in. What happens, let me look this guy up. We'll just run him through the normal way. I mean, I could exit right now and kind of demonstrate to y'all. Okay, so what happens now that I've looked this guy up, now that I've been in this screen, LCPDFR does something to the camera, and it doesn't return it to its normal state for what it respects. So now that the form's up, the camera still pivots and moves. You know, even if I try to kind of lock it to its new position, like something's changed with the camera in regards from LCPDFR, and it's not that they're destroying the game. I really need to know what they're doing to the camera and what they're doing with the controls to make this mod work fluidly with you guys, or else when you're like looking around or something like that, you'll be like stuck in the car view. So that's another reason that I kind of wanted you guys in the car. And, you know, here's another glaring issue. So say, you know, if I'm typing the individual's name, and we'll go...
Pull over now!
See, now, because I wanted that capital...
I order you to stop that vehicle!
Right here, because I made it capital, because I used that shift hotkey, and I'm unable to disable their hotkeys, my only option is to either kind of change its location, the hotkeys. Like right now, my computer is set up for Control E, and I don't want to do that, but it's just a temporary workaround. And I hope that I can avoid having you guys like all change your INI files. It really depends what LCPDFR staff tell me in their reply. And you know, that's another huge annoyance, is that you can type however you want when this form's open in terms of Grand Theft Auto, like native keys and controls and functions. It'll ignore those, but for some reason I can't get it to ignore LCPDFR keys overriding it. Another updates is now these actually matter. Before they were all going to be valid. They were kind of just quick data plug-in, but now you'll actually find things that can be really expired. It doesn't always happen. I don't want it to happen every traffic stop, but you know, paying attention will actually yield good information at this point. So now that we destroyed that pullover by by actually having that up, we'll kind of see what happens if we go straight into the ticket mode. So we're actually gonna we're just gonna give this guy a warning, pulled him over for no reason, and we'll go ahead and step out since we filled out the ticket in the car. And you'll see LCPDFR is gonna snag this one just because again I pressed shift, that hotkey kind of destroyed itself. And we're just gonna try to back out of this because he's gonna leave. That was my script telling him to leave, but we're still currently in LCPDFRs. In future versions, I'm gonna say that, if this is active and you didn't handle the person, what most likely is gonna happen is I'm just gonna clear it out to make sure nothing's conflicting. And you can see I got the vehicle's tires turned. I mean, it's kind of sidetracking a little bit. I went ahead and released the turn tires mod. It's only keyboard friendly. That's kind of just how I do things. So I'll be looking over to port it to actual control use as well. I'm just having a lot of issues in regards to X-Pattern. So I mean, just in closing, I'm going to summarize. Hotkeys are a huge issue right now with LCPDFR conflicting with my script. Using the computer jacks up the camera, even for Helper. Like, the camera's supposed to lock when I bring up Helper, and it will until you use that police computer. So it's something that this individual that made Helper also had an issue with. I mean, I've tried a couple of things to restore the camera to its default setting. I've even created my own, repositioned them, tried to lock the headings, and it just doesn't want to fly. And so once I get the hotkeys ironed out, once I get the computer thing kind of ironed out, which I'm really on the fence about actually redoing this entire computer system. It would be nice to add what type of warrant it was, priors, what type of tickets they got, current standings, and it'll really like give you an opinion about the person. If I do that, I'm also going to be able to get away from their computer destroying the computer screen. The only thing I'll need to do then is find a way to toggle their hotkeys. Hopefully LCPDFR staff helps me out on this one. Hopefully I don't have to try to do anything too shady or dangerous in code just to kind of get their hotkeys to relax for the duration that my form's open. But those are the main glaring issues, is hotkeys, because it doesn't matter how good a mod is or how deep it is if it's annoying to use, if people don't like to use it. And those hotkeys getting in the way and those camera controls getting funky, it makes it a little bit annoying to use. And I'm gonna try to of course I'm gonna try to get that solved before I do any type of release. As for time frame, I mean, we're getting to the point where I'm almost ready to hit a larger testing group, a larger closed testing group, because that's when all the weird bugs kind of pop out and happen. It's stable. It won't turn crashes. Sometimes you guys still get into little places in code that you shouldn't, and things won't delete well or right. And that's just a correction over time. Things that I forget, or little openings in code that I forgot to close up that lead to a spot in code you shouldn't have got to. That'll be corrected. But depending on what LCPDFR staff says and how these hotkeys go, maybe another 2 or 3 weeks before it's done. If I decide to do the police computer, maybe 3 weeks, maybe 4. It just depends how much free time I can get to invest in it. And you know, I'm realizing now I've been pumping out a lot of content, a lot of mods in a short amount of time, and I've been doing that to keep learning. And this is kind of the accumulation of all that I've learned. And I'm gonna take this one slow because I want this one to be, you know, a good long-standing mod for LCPDFR. I want you guys to be able to enjoy this. And you know, I'll keep you guys updated. I'll try to do a once a week update on it, and we'll just see how it goes. I'll see y'all at the next one. I appreciate all the support. It's just been amazing. I'm so surprised that I've actually even made it to 800. And you know, if you got any suggestions, recommendations, or anything you want to see, let me know. And let me know what I should do for that 1,000. I guess apparently people do stuff when they hit certain sub goals. And you know, 1,000 is gonna be huge for me. So let me know, like maybe a face reveal or something silly. I don't care. I'll catch y'all later.